Okay, we'll get started now. Thank you so much for coming. We're so happy to have you here. And the song that was playing was TXT0X1 equals love song. Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm Korean American. Some of my alt K-pop groups are TXT, Pentagon, and BTS. My favorite K-drama at the moment is Penthouse. And these are my socials, so if you have any questions, you could always feel free to ask. You could also leave questions in the chat and I will be checking the chat. So these are some ground rules. By joining our Google Classroom and being in this meeting, you're agreeing to our guidelines. Some ground rules are absolutely no discrimination or racism of any kind will be tolerated, bullying included, to any of our team members or any of the students in our classes. And please be mindful of foul language. I might accidentally curse here or there, but please just apologize and move on. Please don't spam comments during the live Google Meeting calls. You're free to talk amongst yourselves in the chat or leave any questions, but please don't just spam them. Please don't spam on the Google Classroom feed, and we're going to be working on the 3 strikes you're out basis. We will also be taking pictures at the end of each meeting to post on our Google Classroom page. We won't be taking a picture this meeting, but we will try to take pictures once lessons start. And cameras are not required, but they are encouraged. The main objective is to make learning Korean language and culture very fun and flexible, so everything is optional and we hope you have fun learning Korean. An overview of what to expect. Again, everything is optional, so you can pick and choose what fits to your schedule and your needs. We will be having 30 to 45-minute Google Meet live lessons like this. Cameras are not required, but they are encouraged. We will be having 3 each week, 1 for each level, and I will explain that more in the meeting. And homework will be worksheets and websites where you can practice your Hangul. And again, these are optional and there's no due date, so you can get it done whenever you have time. Mini projects will mostly be about K-pop, K-dramas, K-food, and K-beauty. Again, these are optional. And weekly quizzes, this is just for you to check your progress and see if you are getting the content. And there will most likely be only 5 questions long. We will also be having movie nights and cooking classes twice a month. And movie nights will be about Korean shows. We have another Google form towards the end of the meeting, and we ask for your opinion. And cooking classes, we will be learning modern foods that are trending in Korea right now, as well as traditional dishes. And we will also be having virtual field trips to different parts of Korea. We're not sure if we're going to do this all together in a meeting or if we're going to give you the information and you guys could do it when you guys have time. Prizes right now on how many students we have, we're thinking of 2 to 3 prizes each month, and we will ship that out to you, and we will contact you through raffle to hardworking students just as a motivation thing. And the prizes will also be catered towards you, so we will ask you what you would like. Some things we recommend we have with you is a notebook. This can be paper or digital on an iPad, or you can have a doc or a notebook, just regular notebook. Something to write with, a Korean keyboard cover or stickers. You can find one on Amazon for less than $10, but again, these are optional. The Class Dojo app, right now we're having a couple problems, so don't worry if it doesn't work. We will have another meeting explaining that, and the Remind app. The Remind app is for everyone, but if you have a US phone number, you should be getting text messages. Or right now we have everyone's email from the Google form in the Google Classroom into the system, so you should have gotten an email. And if you should have gotten an email, and if you have the app, you will get notifications every time you send announcements. This is the welcome Google form. This is the same one in the Google Classroom right now. So if you haven't gotten the chance to, you can fill it out right now. Just point your camera to it and the form should pop up. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to finish that. If you already filled it out, you don't have to fill it out again. Also, let me know if you want me to put the link in the chat if you can't access it. Okay, we'll move on. Stay connected. These are all the platforms that we will be using throughout these courses. Our Google Classroom code is right there. Remind, text 81010 to and then at KCLK, and this is for people with only US phone numbers. If you don't have a US phone numbers, you can download the app and we have your email in the system. So if you put your email in the Google form, you should get an email asking to join. This is our Instagram at KCLK, at KCL Korean class. And if you have any questions, please reach out to there and not my personal Instagram because my DMs are a mess right now. If you have any donations, you can send it to this Venmo account. I think this is only for US. And make sure to label it KCL donation. I'll send the link in the chat for the Google form for anyone who hasn't been able to do it. Give me 2 seconds. The link should be in the chat right now. And this is the class Dojo code. I'm pretty sure it's not working, so don't worry about it right now. So these are the levels that we are introducing and offering. You're not restricted to a level. We don't put someone in, group them into the levels. The levels are just there to tell you how hard the class might be. Sprout is for people who are just starting out, not very familiar with reading or writing Hangul, and we're going to be going over a lot of the basics. So this is a good class to drop in to refresh your memory or build a better foundation. But it's for people who know a little bit of Korean, are familiar with reading or writing, and we're going to be working on more vocabulary and being able to piece together sentences. Flower is for people who've learned Korean before and know how to read and write, and we will be working on broadening our vocabulary spectrum even more, and we will be working on a lot of free conversation practice and pronunciation. So again, you guys aren't restricted to one of these categories, and you guys could drop into any of the meetings. These are just there to label how hard the class might be. The homework assignments and the projects, the homework assignments are also labeled, and we will be uploading each of the slides and each of the recorded lessons and label them with these labels again and post them in the chat, in the Google Classroom feed. So these are our schedules, Sprout, Bud, and Flower. These meetings are all not finalized yet. There's another Google form right after this slide, and we ask for your opinion on what time you will be able to take these classes. And you guys can take one of them, you guys can take all of them, 2 of them, whatever fits your schedule, and whatever works for you. And we will be trying to pick a time where the majority of people are free because there are some problems with the time zones right now. So these times are subject to change, but they will be finalized by the end of the week. We will be having movie nights and cooking classes every second and fourth Sunday at 4 p.m. And we will let you guys know when that starts. And I don't think this time will be negotiable because most of our teachers live in the United States. So this is the Google form. I'll put the link into chat in just a moment so you can fill that out. This asks for when you will be able to take the classes and some Korean shows you would like to watch or during the movie nights, and what kind of Korean dishes you would like to try during the cooking classes. So you can fill that out right now and I'll post it in the chat too. So the first link is the one for the welcome Google form to fill out with your email and your name and your pronouns and such. And the second form is your opinions on what time the live meeting should be. So you guys can fill that out. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Okay, we'll move on. This is the last Google form. This is just asking if you would like to be interested in purchasing a 3 months worth of kits, a 3 month worth kit of cooking classes and movie nights. This will include Korean snacks, ingredients for the cooking classes, and a Hangul notebook and Korean face masks. Pricing will range from 15 to 20 US dollars, excluding shipping. And this is just to get a feel for whether people would be interested or not. We're not sure if we will be doing this or not. So it's just one question, it's real quick, and I'll leave the link in the chat one more time. Also, the recording for this meeting and the Google Slides will be posted on the Google Classroom feeds in case you miss anything. So the last form is just asking if you would be interested in purchasing a kit. The link is also posted on the Google Classroom feed too, so if you don't get the chance to fill it out now, you could always go back to the Google Classroom and fill it whenever you're ready. So this is the end of our meeting. If you have any questions, you can shout them out now, or you can leave them in the chat. I will also be staying after the meeting ends I will also be staying in the meeting for a couple minutes if anyone has any extra questions. So you can shout them out right now if you have any questions or leave them in the chat. So there is actually an assignment posted right now. It's just a self-introduction and it's no boundaries except just your name and your pronouns. And the instructions are there. You can get it done whenever. This is also optional. We just want to get to know you. And I just want to give you a quick overview of what the lessons will look like. So I will give you the lesson topics. I'll just go over them real quick. So the lesson topic for Sprout is learning character and letter positions, and we will be making Korean names. Bud lesson topic would be greetings in Korean with levels of formality. And the flower lesson topic will be introducing yourself in Korean and practicing free speech and pronunciation. So we will also be posting the lesson topics at the beginning of each week just so you know the topic before you come into a lesson. So that's it for today's meeting. You guys are free to go. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.